Greetings. I'm Kathy Green with Christian News and Interviews. And I'd like to talk today about restorative justice and teenagers who are out of control. You probably have heard that recently a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old in Florida who had been in foster care and ended up in a home, a group home, broke out of the group home or just walked out of the group home actually. Broke into somebody's house while the people were not there. The people had been gone like 15 minutes when they came and broke in. They assembled a disassembled AK-47, assembled it correctly, and proceeded to shoot at the police. And this went on for a while. The police showed so much restraint against these two teenagers. The young lady was, you could tell she was in a fantasy world because she was talking about a game that she was comparing herself to. But the long and the short of it is, this young lady had a history of issues. She had stolen dogs in the past and ended up at a halfway house, and then she burnt down the halfway house. According to the sheriff, she burnt down the halfway house. Well, that right there tells you that she needs a whole lot of help. She's a very disturbed young lady. People who burn down houses are disturbed. I'm guessing that she was in a foster home because her parents could not control her anymore. So they put her in a foster home. And she ended up in that group home. The young man, the 12-year-old, she was 14, but the young man was with her. He was in foster care also. Obviously, his parents could not handle him anymore because that's where he was, in foster care. And so what I want to talk about is the fact that the new thing out there is restorative justice, where you don't put people in jail, you use the least amount of restraint possible, and the goal is to somehow restore to the person that you hurt, to make them whole in whatever way possible. Well, restorative justice doesn't work for everybody. Can you imagine a rapist not going to jail, or a child molester not going to jail, but in some way trying to make the rape victim or the child that they attacked whole? They're still a danger to the person that they hurt. They can't make anyone whole. We're up not against restorative justice, but this defund the police nonsense. We can't afford to defund the police. People are in a fantasy world. We cannot defund the police. If anything, we need to give them more money to do what they need to do. If I have an issue, I want to be able to dial 911 and have the police show up at my door within seconds, if possible. Defunding them won't make that happen. If someone's breaking into my house, I don't want a social worker or a psychologist to show up to say to the person who's breaking into my house, "Oh, did you have a sad childhood?" No, I want them arrested. So I'm not really sure what's going on in the world where people think that you can pamper and baby these criminals out here. And yes, some criminals are 12 and 14 years old. The two criminals in Florida, they had no business in a group home. They should have been in a very, very secure lockup. Both of them. It is a miracle that they didn't murder any of those police officers, because they certainly did try. They tried. That young lady was so determined that she even came outside twice, loaded with her gun, and just shot at those police officers. She was not playing. So let me know what you think about restorative justice and about defunding the police. Personally, I'm totally against it. And yes, I am in favor of young thugs going to a very secure lockup facility.